Hi and welcome back. You're with Terry from Bonsai Tree, and today I'm going to be working on this Cupressis leylandii. If you find the following content helpful, then you can thank me by clicking the thanks button just below the video. Cupressis leylandii appears to be a rather rare species as a bonsai. The tree does not belong to me, but rather is part of the collection of a customer of mine. The tree was started by a famous South African bonsai practitioner called Rudy Adam. When Rudy Adam passed away, my customer had the opportunity to purchase the tree from his collection. A few years after that, I had the opportunity to work on it and have been working on it in conjunction with the customer. The tree has been allowed to gain vigor for the past few seasons and well fed, and so most of the work today is going to revolve around pruning unwanted growth out. What I've noticed with Cupressis is that it's better to simply eliminate weak growth like this and instead encourage and work with vigorous growth that you find. A few seasons ago, I wired this tree, and so aside from the pruning which needs to be done, I also need to go look for instances of wire bite. The branches on Cupressis remain very supple and very flexible for a very long time, so it's important that you do try to keep the wire on as long as possible, and really until it starts to bite in quite aggressively. Where you do find wire biting, and it's important that you only address those areas and leave the rest of the tree alone. That wire can either be cut off or removed if you don't need it any longer. Alternatively, wind the wire or unwind the wire back to before it starts to bite in, and then reapply it, but using a different track along the branch. With a species such as Cupressis, where I doubt very much that the branch has hardened to a point where it can support its own weight at this point, it does require the wire to keep it in that position, and by reusing the wire that was applied previous to the wire bite occurring, you're saving time and you're also saving wire. Cupressis leylandii foliage tends to be rather lanky and limp, and so the design of the tree needs to take this into account, and the way that I've done that is kept it to have a rather airy, open feel to the foliage pads and to the overall structure as well. When you're applying wire to position the tertiary branches, just make sure that you do anchor that, otherwise it's going to seesaw from either side. Another wiring tip is to terminate the wire with a pigtail. Not only does it make it possible to very easily position the foliage in a more upward fashion, but it also makes removing the wire ultimately easier as well. If you found that content helpful and you'd like to thank me for it, please do so now by clicking the thanks button just below the video. And that concludes the work for today's sitting with this tree. The tree can now be returned to the customer, who keeps it out in a more or less full sun position, and it will then be treated with lime sulfur as an overall spray, and possibly also just to retreat the dead wood on the tree. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope that you've enjoyed the content, and I look forward to posting more.